Hello, this is Blue Joe Saunders, WBO middleweight champion of the world. Subscribe to Sport and Icons to stay in touch with all the top news. God bless you all.
So after a fantastic year of boxing, 2017 has produced some excellent fights and great matchups that a lot of us have wanted. Okay, some people are still not happy because we didn't get all the fights that we wanted, but there's going to be no such thing as a perfect year. If we was all to look at what we have had, it's been absolutely fantastic. Now, the year's not quite finished yet. There's one more pretty decent fight coming up, and that will be on Saturday, December the 30th over in Japan, and that will be Naoya Inoue, and he will be defending his WBO super flyweight world title against Yohan Boyo. And again, Inoue, he's only had 14 fights, he's undefeated, and there's talk that he's going to be moving up in weight after this fight. In other words, kind of almost avoiding, if you like, some of the bigger fights around him. But either way, his opponent is a guy who's very experienced. You could arguably call him a journeyman. Boyo, who has had 41 fights and lost 4 of them. But out of his 41 wins, he had 45 fights, 41 wins, he's knocked out 26 opponents. So that ain't too bad. But anyway, as 2018 comes in, we're going to start off with arguably the better opener. There are a couple of smaller ones here and there, but we have in the female division Claressa Shields, who is currently 4-0, and of course she is a undefeated fighter, of course, and this will be for the IBF super middleweight title, and she will be going up against undefeated Tori Nelson, who is 17-0. Now, this Tori Nelson, while she is undefeated, she does have 3 draws, but out of those 17 wins, she has only knocked out 2 of them, so not exactly a big puncher. But Claressa Shields, who won the IBF super middleweight title very, very early on, so her 4th pro fight. So anyway, she'll be defending that on January the 12th. Then, just over a week later, on Saturday in Brooklyn, New York, you've got Errol Spence defending his IBF welterweight title against Lamont Peterson. For me, that's an excellent fight. That's not necessarily an easy cherry pick for Errol Spence to make his first defense of his IBF welterweight world title. Lamont Peterson has had some pretty decent names on his record, and one of them being Amir Khan. But of course, you could kind of argue that Amir Khan should have won that fight. But anyway, it is what it is, and Errol Spence is no joke. This is actually a very, very good fight. Errol Spence is currently 22-0, with 19 of those coming by knockout. Lamont Peterson is 35 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. Out of those 35 wins, he's knocked out 17 of those opponents. So again, that's a pretty good knockout ratio. It's not exactly the kind of fight that we all wanted. We were kind of hoping that it was going to be like a Danny Garcia or Keith Thurman, or these kind of ones. But if you look down the IBF rankings, it's not exactly stacked on the IBF. For whatever reason, it's really not. And out of all those guys, Lamont Peterson is probably the toughest guy on the IBF rankings right now, top 15. So he's chosen the toughest guy. So well done, Errol Spence. And we'll have to see how that fight goes. So again, that'll be on January the 20th in Brooklyn, New York. Then straight after that one, over in California, there's a couple of decent fights on that one, and that will be for Lucas Matthysse going up against Tewa Kiram, and that will be for the vacant WBA regular welterweight title. So that's a title that used to be held by Danny Jacobs. Sorry, not Danny Jacobs. Actually, I've forgotten who it was now. But either way, it's for a regular title, so it's not the super title that Keith Thurman currently has. And also, there as well, you've got Jorge Linares, and he'll be defending his WBA lightweight title against Masito Gesta, whether I butchered that name or not. Now, Linares is 43 wins, 3 losses, and out of those 43 wins, 27 by knockout. And of course, a lot of you guys will know him more for not only his win over Luke Campbell, but of course the 2 wins over Anthony Crolla. And Jester, his opponent, is 31 wins, 1 loss and 2 draws. 17 of those 31 wins by knockout. So that would be for Jorge Linares' WBA lightweight title. Then we have on the same night, so January the 27th, we have Alexander Usyk going up against Marius Briedis, and this will be for the semi-final of the World Super Series of Boxing, and this will be a unification fight as well, and this will be for the WBC and WBO Cruiserweight World title. So this is a unification fight, and this will be over in Latvia as well, which is Briedis' home country. So excellent fight this one, as both are undefeated. Alexander Usyk is 13-0, 11 of those by knockout. Marius Briedis is 23-0, with 18 of those wins by knockout. So 1 week later, we've got Gilberto Ramirez going against Khabib Ahmed, and this will be for the WBO super middleweight title. Ramirez is 36-0, and Khabib Ahmed is 22-0. So again, it's a very decent fight, although I'm not really hung up on Ramirez because he didn't enter the Super Series at super middleweight. For whatever reason or another, it appears to me he bottled it. So either way, he's defending his title over on February the 3rd, and that'll be in Texas as well, which I believe is Ramirez's hometown. So anyway, on the same night, February the 3rd, you've got Dortukas going up against Murat Gassiev. And again, this is for the Super Series Cruiserweight tournament. And again, 2 undefeated fighters. So again, this will be the semi-final. So the winner will be fighting Usyk or Briedis. And that will be for the undisputed. But this particular fight, Dortukas going up against Gassiev, is for the IBF and WBA Cruiserweight titles. So again, this is for another unification. So this Cruiserweight tournament is absolutely fantastic. So like I said, that'll be on February the 3rd, that fight, and that one will be in Russia. Also on the same night, so February the 3rd is looking pretty good for boxing, right? We have at the O2 Arena, it was supposed to have been Dillian Whyte against whoever, maybe Lucas Brown or whoever, but due to the lack of preparation time, if you like, they couldn't get a fighter over the line for Dillian Whyte to headline that fight. So the headline has been replaced by Lawrence Okolie and Isaac Chamberlain. A British beef, if you like. That's a Matchroom show, and like I said, that'll be at the O2 on February the 3rd. Lawrence Okolie 7-0, Isaac Chamberlain 9-0. And as I've said before, it's almost a shame these guys have to fight just now. Both undefeated, both British prospects. And it's unfortunate that one of these guys had to take an L so early in their career. But on the flip side of that, it's going to be a good learning fight for both of them. They're both headlining this fight. The winner will go on to probably bigger and better things. Whoever was to lose that will almost go back to the drawing board, but not go back too far, because again, they're still progressing. They're still very, very early on in their career. Now, 1 week later, over in San Antonio, Texas, you have Mikey Garcia defending his IBF junior welterweight title against Sergey Lipinets. Sorry, Sergey Lipinets is the champion, and Mikey Garcia will be the challenger for this one. Obviously, Mikey Garcia is moving up to 140 for this one, and again, it's an excellent fight. I know it doesn't get talked about too much, but for me, Mikey Garcia 37-0, arguably one of the pound for pound fighters, certainly top 10, maybe top 5, who knows. And Sergey Lipinets, I believe he's only had, what, 12 fights, I think it is. So, yeah, this is an excellent fight, and one that you would probably favour Mikey Garcia, to be fair, but Lipinets is no joke. If you see him, he's from Russia, and he is a fantastic fighter. But anyway, on the same night, and this will be in the Copper Box Arena in London, so this is a Frank Warren show, as most of his are at the Copper Box, and he will have his fighter, Zolani Tete, going to get up against Omar Narvaez. And Tete is 26 wins, 3 losses, and 21 of those 26 wins are by knockout. Narvaez is 47 fights in, with 2 losses and 2 defeats. And of course, this will be for the WBO bantamweight title, and who knows, maybe the winner can go on and fight Ryan Burnett for a unification fight, which hopefully we all get. So that's a Frank Warren show on February the 10th. And of course, the undercard is going to be pretty stellar as well. So you can go check out that one. I believe on that same night, we have Anthony Yarde and... what the hell's his name? Daniel Dubois. How am I forgetting his name? Yeah, he's going to be on the undercard for Tete. Or I believe they are anyway. So 1 week later, on February the 17th, at Manchester Arena in Manchester, England, be the ITV pay-per-view fight and arguably the fight of 2018 so far, depending how you look at it, will be George Groves defending his Super WBA Super Middleweight title against Chris Eubank Jr., who is the IBO Super Middleweight champion. So again, it's somewhat of a unification fight and a local grudge, if you like. These two have a bit of history and cannot wait for this fight, as I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. And this will be in the semi-final of the World Boxing Super Series. And on the same night as well, February the 17th, over in Las Vegas, and that will be shown on Showtime, you have Danny Garcia going up against Brandon Rios. And again, another great fight. This will be Danny Garcia's first fight since he lost to Keith Thurman, since he lost his WBC welterweight title. And Danny Garcia now has a record of 33 wins with 1 loss. That 1 loss coming against Keith Thurman, of course. And this is somewhat of his comeback, if you like, where he could potentially get Keith Thurman after this, or if not, Sean Porter may get Keith Thurman, depending on how you look at it. But I think Keith Thurman will be looking at Jesse Vargas. I don't know if that's officially confirmed yet, but either way. Danny Garcia against Brandon Rios. Brandon Rios is 34 wins, 3 losses and 1 draw. 25 of those 34 wins have come by knockout. That's a great fight. So like I said, that would be in Las Vegas and that will be shown on Showtime. And of course, 1 week later, again, February the 24th in Los Angeles, California on HBO, you've got the Roman Gonzalez Chocolatito Slayer, who defeated him twice on the bounce, and he will be, his name is Sriket Saw Rungvisai. His first name I can never really pronounce, but Rungvisai is his surname, and he will be going up against Juan Francisco Estrada. And this will be for the WBC Super Flyweight title, and this is a great fight. Now, Estrada is 36 wins and 2 losses, and Rungvisai is 44 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. Now, as we know, Rungvisai has had 2 wins on the bounce. He defeated a undefeated Roman Gonzalez, and Roman Gonzalez was vastly on his way to beating the record currently held by Floyd Mayweather of 50-0, and Rungvisai, he beat Roman Gonzalez in the first match. Some say controversially, he used some rough tactics, if you like, but second fight he beat him convincingly by knocking him out. So of course he will be defending his title against Estrada. Now that's a great fight. Now again, 1 week later, see, they're coming thick and fast, they're all 1 week later. On Saturday, March the 3rd, we have the return, the rise again of former IBF welterweight champion Kell Brook, and he'll be going up against Sergey Rabchenko, and that will be at the Fly DSA Arena in Sheffield. So his homecoming, if you like, his return to the ring after 2 losses on the bounce, one in a fight that he shouldn't have really been in, obviously, with Triple G, and of course the other one last time out was against Errol Spence, who a lot of people consider to be pound for pound and arguably the best welterweight right now. So Kell Brook is on his comeback, and this will be at 154. So Kell Brook is moving up in weight for the first time to a weight where a lot of people say he will be more comfortable at, as in he should make this weight a little easier than what he does with 147. So he's fighting at 154, and the guy that he's fighting, Rabchenko, is ranked only by the WBC. I think he's ranked like number 9 or number 8, whatever it is, by WBC. So Kell Brook could potentially replace him in the WBC. And who is the WBC 154 champion? Yep, Charlo. So that looks like the guy that Kell Brook is going after. So big props to Kell Brook, and hopefully he wins that one. Now Rabchenko is 29 wins, 2 losses, and 22 of those 29 wins are by knockout. So Rabchenko is no slouch, and Kell Brook had better be on his A game to beat this guy. So again, this will be on a Matchroom show as well, of course. And on the same night, you have Sergey Kovalev, and he'll be fighting Igor Mekhalin. Not too sure who that is, but Michalkin, I should say, is 21 wins and 1 loss, but 9 of his 21 wins were by knockout. Kovalev has obviously lost twice, and that was against Andre Ward. Now, this will be for the WBO light heavyweight title, and this is Kovalev's comeback, if you like. He's trying to prove that the Andre Ward fights were a blip, or whatever you may want to call it, but obviously he's had a win since that, and now making a defense of his title against a guy who isn't the biggest knockout artist by the looks of it, but either way, he's got a pretty decent record and he's there for a reason. So that's one fight to look forward to, and that fight will be over in Madison Square Garden, New York City. That'll be shown on HBO. And I forgot to mention Kelbrook versus Rabchenko will be on Sky Sports. No, it's not pay-per-view. So again, actually it's 2 weeks later for this one. For the next big fight, you got on March 17th at Madison Square Garden, New York City, and this will be on ESPN. You've got Jose Ramirez going up against Amir Imam. Now, Ramirez is 21 and undefeated, and Imam is 21 and 1. Now, Imam, out of those 21 wins, he's knocked out 18 opponents, and this will be for the WBC junior welterweight title as well. So this looks like it'll be a very, very good fight. So I want to keep an eye out on that one. Like I said, that one will be on ESPN. So a little while later, May the 5th, if all going well, we have the rematch between Tony Bellew, David Haye on a Matchroom co-promoted event with Haymaker and Ringstar Promotions. Of course, Tony Bellew defeated David Haye last year, if you like. And Tony Bellew will be looking to prove that the Achilles tear that David Haye pulled in that fight in round number 6, was not a bearing on the result of the fight. He would have beat David Haye anyway. David Haye wants to avenge this defeat. Of course, they were supposed to fight in December, just gone. So as that fight didn't happen, was it December 17th, if I remember rightly? That fight didn't happen due to David Haye tearing his bicep, I think it was, or shoulder muscle. As he's walking down the flight of steps, he went to grab hold of the railing, the banister rail, if you like, and end up pulling his bicep. So that fight got postponed, but now it's been rescheduled for May the 5th at the O2 Arena, and I believe there are some tickets left, whereas originally when it was put up for sale for December 17th, it sold out in minutes, but there are actually some tickets left for this one. I guess because a lot of people are not really, if you like, confident that David Haye's going to turn up for this one. But either way, hopefully this fight does happen, and it could be a great night of boxing, and I'm presuming it's going to be pay-per-view. I haven't looked at that bit yet. If it is, it'll be Sky Sports box office. But anyway, that'll be at the O2. If you want to go watch it May the 5th. Also on the same night, now this is all the confirmed fights. Now, there are a couple of fights here, there, and around these dates as well, obviously. Ones that are not officially confirmed yet, but certainly look like they're going to be in the next coming days or week or two. And, of course, on May the 5th, at Vegas, you're looking at the Triple G versus Canelo rematch. That looks like that's going to be on the same day as Bellew versus Haye. For a lot of us, we would rather see Triple G defend his titles in an undisputed fight with Joe Saunders, but he wants to rematch with Canelo, as last time it was a controversial draw, as some say. Not necessarily the result being a draw, but the fact that one of the judges, Adelaide Bird, kind of like tried to screw Triple G out of that fight, 118, 110, is outrageous. So, either way, that rematch looks like it could be happening on May the 5th. Also, not exactly on here, but on March the 24th, this is the date that we know. As a lot of you guys know, when I spoke with Dillian White on the live stream a week or two ago, he confirmed that his original penciled in date for the O2 headliner of February the 3rd is now switched to March the 24th, and it looks like that was going to be Lucas Brown. So that would be a great headline fight, and I can't wait for that one. Also, maybe 1 week later after that, so you're talking March 31st or April 7th, or thereabouts, we don't know exactly, and potentially the Principality Stadium in Cardiff, Wales, could be having another unification fight between Anthony Joshua and Joseph Parker. We know these guys have already agreed the splits now, the percentage, where Joseph Parker is allegedly on 32.5%. That's kind of what they settled on. They agreed that if Joshua was to lose, the fight, as in Parker was to win it and become the IBF Super WBA and retain his WBO title, and of course add to the IBO, then they can have a rematch where Joseph Parker will get 55% of the split. But of course now they're talking about either some kind of waiver money or a rematch clause for Joseph Parker should he lose. So they're just kind of like the final details that they're looking at right now. But they have agreed on the split, so this fight is pretty much a cert. So like I said, that'll either be March the 31st or maybe a week or so later after then. And of course, one more fight before I forget will be March the 3rd, not officially confirmed yet, but you're looking at Deontay Wilder finally having that fight with Luis Ortiz. And that looks like that'll be happening at the Barclays Center in New York. So like I said, March the 3rd, Deontay Wilder going up against the undefeated Cuban King Kong Luis Ortiz, defending Deontay Wilder's WBC heavyweight world title, and hopefully the winner will get to fight Anthony Joshua or potentially Joseph Parker. Who knows how all these fights are going to happen in 2018. So that's it right now. So for everybody, please click that thumbs up, subscribe. Happy New Year to you all. Drop your thoughts below as to which fight are you looking forward to the most 2018. Maybe it hasn't been confirmed yet which fight it is, or those that have been confirmed, which fight are you really looking forward to in 2018. So Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you very much for listening, and of course to all of my subscribers. I appreciate it all and all your comments, and I enjoy interacting with all of you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Click that button, and I'll catch you on the next video.